Hello, everybody again. This is just a short message of some things during prayer that I was reminded or prompted to speak about, things I've talked about before. Again, when he's prompted me to speak again, because obviously there's some importance to it. A reminder to people. One is that dust to dust. Dust to dust is basically God recycles everything. It's in the thing as preserving things like our bodies through embalming and burial and so forth is against how God designed things. Because we decay, we break back down. Again, being 97% water, 3% nutrients, break back down. We have bacteria inside, the bacteria outside, in the predator, the scavengers outside the body that take care of the recycling process. Like even the scavengers, they start to devour the decaying bodies, and even the bacteria, they have waste. The waste goes back in, becomes part of the nutrients in the soil. So dust to dust, as God designed it. See that again? That soul, that our soul is that again, like a piece of God, like our cell. Every cell in our body has all the genetic evidence of us in each cell. So God takes that piece of Himself, which is light, energy, spirit, and it becomes a soul, someone's soul. And all that is God is in that soul, but we know so little of it. Again, that ties into all that extra space in the brain that we're not using. Why is it there? It has more information about Him to recall and to fill up about Him. So that piece of Him is placed inside at conception through the act, the union of male and female, sperm and egg. Come together, boom, a soul, conception. And around that light, that soul, through the mother, things that the mother has inside her already and that she puts into her body, through her body, process and goes through the umbilical cord, physical umbilical cord, starts to build around the body, around that soul. And then birth, the physical cord is cut. By asking any mother, she still feels because that physical connection or that a connection to their children, but it's not seen. It's like the spiritual connection God has to our soul, an umbilical cord of light. So it's always there. When that soul leaves, that cord's still connected, cord of light's still connected to the soul, but it's not in the body now. It's lost its power source, so the body goes back to the dust. That's how it was designed to be. And this is another example of everything that God is reflected in the physical, or much of what God is, at least I don't know all of it, is reflected, in the world, the physical. That umbilical cord of light reflected physical as the physical umbilical cord. Everything that we see out there is a reflection of God. And as Paul said, now I see as if in a mirror, then I will see more clearly. And what do you see in a mirror? When you look in a mirror, what do you see? Reflection of things. So we see with our physical eyes reflections of God and all that is of God or made by God. It's just reflections. It's also at the same time part of God, because anything with a soul everything has an essence, part of Him in it, whether it has a soul or not, has essence, a part of God. And even more so, things that have a soul. And they're created as mankind was created. Flows in the next thing. Mankind was created. What He said, let me create in the image of man, in the image of God, of us, of the light. So again, we're looking at things as physical perspective. God is light, energy. There's that soul that is in us That part of him they took and made it as a soul is that image of God. He created us, our souls, as in the image of Him, spirit, soul, not the physical body. That's just a mere minor reflection of things. But again, that's another thing. In the next topic, a man changes everything that is of God, about God, or from God, turn it around and make it about himself, about man, make it about ourselves. Hence, you get to religions. Hence, viewing everything that's given to us in the Bible from a physical perspective. Because we're here looking out, that's the perspective we have. Mankind changes everything, flip it around, and make it about himself. No. So to grow in God's light, understanding, you have to look at things from a spiritual perspective. Because we're spiritual beings. God is spirit. God is light. So you look to it from that perspective. How do you start that? By looking inside. The kingdom of heaven is inside us all. Where that soul is, where God is. That piece of God is. That image of God is. You look inside. How can I look inside? How can I look inside? So you ask Him to help you. First, you have to open up your heart. And the mind will follow. And you start to learn. And you see, ask for discernment to see things from His perspective. So you ask for that discernment of His wisdom and knowledge, see things from His perspective. And He'll help you and ask for help to learn about Him, to look inside. And He will help you. He will open up your mind. He said, let me transform the way you think. You have to fight Him, let Him transform the way you think. Into that way that you need to think and see things and understand things and grow. To move up that spiritual school. He wants everybody to graduate. I want everybody to graduate the spiritual school. Not be stuck in physical school. To grow, what we're supposed to do. So you ask for that help. You ask for that discernment of His word and His truth, so that when you view things from His wisdom and knowledge, from His perspective, when He's speaking or showing you things, His word and His truth, you can discern what He's teaching you. So you ask Him for that perspective and to understand what it is He's showing you, revealing to you. Then you ask for discernment of His will. So when He tells you, okay, gives you an assignment or gives you something to do, you can see it for what it is and act upon it. And discernment of Him. So when it is something happening in your life, crosses your path, you're concerned that it is Him and not fight Him, and let Him do what it is He's trying to do with you. And that asks for the discernment of darkness so you can tell what's false. So it's about Him. Use that mantra. It's about Him. I want what you want, Lord. I want what you want. Thy own will be done, not mine. Proverbs 3:5, verse 5 and 6. Trust not your own understanding, your own perceptions, your own reality. Trust in Him. So that's what you want to try to do. What you need to do to grow in His light. Again, like everything, its choice is yours. So I hope that helped. That's what I was supposed to talk about today. So again, stay dry, stay warm. Peace of Christ. God bless.